Hello, you guys. We're gonna be doing a full makeup routine today. I've never really done a makeup tutorial before, so this is going to be a first. Although I did record one, I fully edited it together, and this was so that I would keep my word of putting up one video a week. But when I was going through the editing process, I just didn't like it. I didn't think that it was good enough. I didn't think that it was informative enough. I honestly think that I seemed really tired, and it wasn't right. And so I do want to keep my promise of putting out one video a week, even though I am going to be 2 weeks late on my promise for this video. But I also want to make sure that I'm putting out the best content that I possibly can. So I do apologize for that, but I really care about, what I'm putting out there. I want it to be the best possible I don't just want to, do something, be like, it's not that good, but I need to put out something, so let me just put it out. I really want to make all of my content really good for you guys. So anyway, we have done a full face of makeup. This is not your very light, like just go into Pilates makeup. This is literally like a full face of makeup. And this is how I do it when I'm going anywhere that I want a full face of makeup for. So like if I'm filming, if I'm going to brunch, dinner, anything like that, this is my go-to makeup that I always do. And I do get a lot of questions on my makeup, and I get questions on very specific things like lips, eyes, this and that all the time. So I figured I would just go into depth on this, and hopefully it's pretty informative to you guys. And yeah, so we're just very glowy, very I want to say this is like the perfect kind of makeup that is a cross between kind of like sultry cat-like, but also very feminine, fun, and flirty. I don't know. It's kind of like, I guess it's just the Gemini in me. I want to be like the sexy girl, but I also want to be the cute, pretty girl. So anyway, if you want to see how I achieve this makeup look, keep watching. And without further prolonging this intro, let's get into the video. Okay guys, I hope this lighting is good. And a little disclaimer, this is not my normal setup for doing my makeup. I normally do my makeup in my bathroom, but the background for that is just a little bit boring. This feels a little bit warmer. So I'm currently on my floor in my living room with my camera and my mirror with the lights set up on my coffee table. So I hope that this is going to be good. And also sorry if this jump scared you, because I know that in the intro, I'm gonna look really tan, and now I'm really pale. And that is because I don't put tanner on my face. I think that it just like breaks me out, kind of like settles into my pores and stuff, but I have tanner all over the rest of my body. I just put tanner on. That was so orange looking comparative. I just put tanner on. I can rinse it off later. Anyway, I ran out of my face moisturizer, so I'm not gonna be using moisturizer today. I actually don't think that I typically need face moisturizer. I don't think that it really adds anything to my makeup. I have pretty oily skin as it is. And I put Aquaphor on a lot of times when I sleep, and so I'm just gonna go no moisturizer today. But if you're interested, I typically use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. The reason I'm not using it today is because I'm literally out of it. So, oh, look at Peanut back there. So we're just gonna jump into the makeup routine. So I know it's gonna be a lot of steps, just bear with me and trust the process. It'll be good. I have these little clips from Amazon, which I will link. They just look like this, and I just pin my hair back with them, and they're really nice because they have rubber on them so they don't mess up my hair or anything. And if you guys also want a tutorial on how I get my hair curled and lasting all day and night, I can do that for you, because I've really nailed my hair. I have done a tutorial on my Instagram and TikTok, but I'd love to do a more in-depth one on here, so let me know if you want that. Okay, so I'm starting off with my Armani Beauty primer. This is the best primer I've ever used, not an exaggeration. And I just rub that in my skin. Duh, I think we all know how to use primer. And you're gonna notice that I use a lot of Armani Beauty products, and by no means are they doing any sort of sponsoring of this video or of me in general, they have sent me stuff, which I greatly appreciate, but I've been using Armani Beauty for a very long time. Some on the neck as well, since we're gonna be blending in makeup into the neck to make it match. But I've been using Armani Beauty for a very long time. Every time I veered away from the Armani Beauty Luminous Silk Foundation, I always have come back to it, and I just realized it's just the foundation for me. Now I'm just gonna take a little disposable spoolie. I also got these from Amazon, and every single product that I use in this video will be linked below. And I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Brow Styling Wax. It looks like this. And I love using disposable spoolies because I feel like it's really nice to have a clean spoolie every time you do your makeup. Otherwise you're using the same spoolie and it's like really disgusting and it gets a lot of buildup on it. So I don't like doing that. I used to do that before I was made aware that disposable spoolies were a thing. I'm not even sure how I figured it out. I honestly just think that I kind of like looked it up one day and sure enough, Amazon had it. Thank you, Mr. Bezos. So anyway, I'm just brushing my brows up. I kind of start them more fluffy and then I clean them up to make them look a lot more just tamed and just nice and groomed looking as opposed to like a really bushy brow. I know that we all love the bushy brow trend for a while, but I'm kind of done with that. And the reason I like to brush upward first is because I feel like it really gets the wax all over the hair. I feel like it just works. All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to the brows later. I just gel them before I do my makeup because if I gel them after I put on foundation, the wax kind of mixes with the foundation and it just makes a mess, doesn't look good. Now, here is where you're gonna start seeing me get really tan. This is the foundation that I use. This is the Giorgio Armani or Armani Beauty. I know that they go by Armani Beauty, but it does say Giorgio Armani on it. Armani Beauty Luminous Silk. Perfect Glow Flawless Foundation, blah, blah, blah. I use it in shade 6.5. And this is very dark, but it matches my body when I have tanner on. So that's what I use. And you're gonna see just how much it changes my skin tone. I don't want to hear it if you have something bad to say. I like being tan. I look glowy. Okay, wow, I thought I just lost this makeup brush. I was like, where could it have gone? It was just hiding in my makeup bag. I just searched the entire apartment for it. I blamed Peanut for stealing it. But anyway, I just apply like probably like 3/4 of a pump to, oh shoot, this is running out. Uh-oh. Okay, just like on the 4 parts of my face. Blend it out. This is my makeup brush, my Merit makeup brush that I do most of my blending with for my face makeup. And you guys will notice that I don't really use a beauty blender for anything. I don't use a beauty blender for anything. And that's because I feel like it kind of lifts up my makeup, and maybe that has something to do with the fact that my makeup is mainly silicone based. I know that there are probably some water-based products in there, but as far as my face makeup goes, I keep it all silicone. And that is because when you mix water-based makeup and silicone-based makeup, if you're using like, let's say you use like a water-based foundation and a silicone-based concealer, and then a water-based contour stick, and then a silicone-based liquid blush or something like that. Let's just say you're mixing them. That's when you get the lifting of the makeup. It doesn't lay very nice on the skin, and people end up getting like separation of their makeup, pilling. So we just keep it all silicone based here. I'm not sure about certain products like my setting spray, but that doesn't really matter for keeping the makeup looking nice on your face. Okay, just adding, making a mess. Just adding a little bit more to the places where seems to be sparse. And I kind of like blend it on my ears too, because it'll look kind of weird if I have like really pale ears and a very tan face. And then I also add a little bit to my neck. That way we don't have tan face, pale neck, even though I do put like a little bit of tanner on my neck, but not a lot because it kind of creases up. I have creases on my neck and it doesn't lay very nice if I add on as much tanner to my neck as I do to the rest of my body. Okay, so now I'm going in with my Armani Beauty concealer. This is in shade 5. This is pretty light comparatively, but I like the way it brightens up my face. So I put it not really directly under my eye because those are actually pretty light. If you have dark circles under your eyes, I would recommend putting concealer directly under your eyes. But I focus it more where I get dark, which is right here. Dark spots that I don't want to be dark. And then I do it down the sides of my nose. And then I do a little on the chin, around here. I notice if I don't do it above my lip, I look kind of like I have a mustache. So that is no bueno. And then I do it up here, in between my eyebrows, kind of like thicker at the top of my nose because I have indentions at the top of my nose that I want to bring forward, and a little bit down the bridge of my nose. And also while we're at it, I'm gonna add just a little bit here and a little bit there. So this is not a very light makeup routine, clearly, but I will say it doesn't look cakey or bad at the end. I just think that, you know, we have a lot of steps because when you put foundation all over your face, it kind of makes you one tone. Now you need to bring color back in, but you needed the foundation to even out the skin in the first place, and it just kind of makes sense. And I wish I could be a girl who, you know, just does like a dot of concealer, little liquid blush, mascara, brows, and lip gloss, but I'm not because I don't have a skin tone that is ever going to match the rest of my body, and I will never be tanning my face, so that's just kind of where I'm at. And then I add a little bit more right here. I also heard that the best way to keep your makeup lasting all day and to get the results that you want is to go on in layers. So kind of just adding multiple layers of each thing that you do, especially because the brush does pick up a decent portion of the makeup, not as much as a beauty blender in my opinion, but it is going to pick up some of it, and then you're left with just less makeup on your face, and I put the amount on that I want, so you have to go back in and fix that up. Okay, now for contour, I'm going in with my Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick in medium. This is the Makeup by Mario stick, and I've heard mixed reviews on this, but I'll say I really like this. I don't know what the bad reviews are about. I've actually seen some things that have really good reviews that I don't really like, so this is just what works for me, and hopefully if you try it out, it works for you. I put this right on my cheekbones. I don't go under my cheekbones, and I know that people say to dab it with a brush and then put it on your face. I just go directly on my face. I don't really ever have a problem with it, and then I can make everything sharp that I want to be sharp. I put a lot underneath my chin, and I carve out my jawline. Then I kind of suck in these cheeks like this. And go right where that is. It makes your face look very chiseled, and if you're somebody who has kind of like this structure, but you don't know how to bring it out, you just gotta go with the natural indentions and lines of your face if it's something that you want to bring out. If it's something that you want to cover up, obviously don't do that, but if it's something that you want to bring out more of because you're trying to enhance your natural features and shapes of your face, then go along with your normal indentions. Okay, and then I just use the same Merit brush to blend this out. I kind of go like outward right here and then upward right here because that's what I was told to do by somebody long ago. And I don't remember who that is. Probably one of the makeup artists I used to watch on YouTube. And then I also just kind of tap on underneath here. I don't want to make it too like harsh of a line, but I do like it being concentrated in those areas, but then kind of just like tapping it out. And then I always go into my hairline on this part. Kind of tap all over the forehead. And placing your contour higher is a good way to lift your cheekbones up. When it's too low, it can kind of bring down the face. And we want to be lifted, especially if, you know, you're not gonna be spending money on surgeries to get lifted or anything like that. We can just do it with makeup. And now I just go back in with a little bit more. Like I said, we go in layers. I just put a little bit more right there. A little bit more right there. And that just gives you the most out of your makeup. I mean, it would be pretty annoying to go through all of this and then to realize none of it's really like coming through the way that you want it to. I also bring the residual a little bit around the back of my neck, and that's just to ensure that if my hair is like lifted up or something, that I don't have like a pale neck in the back. Okay, now I take a little bit more of this Makeup by Mario stick, and I take this like little flat brush. It's like a fluffy kind of flat brush, and it's Sephora brand, even though it's super, super rubbed off. And I will take some of this and button my nose. So I'll just put this right here, right in the center of my nose. And it kind of creates the illusion that my nose is going inward right there, which I really like that look. And then I'll bring some around the side of that little tip and underneath, kind of clean it up. And then I will bring it up the bridge of my nose. And we're gonna be going over all of this liquid contour, or cream contour rather, with powder as well. Basically, I kind of it's my method of setting my contour is with bronzer, because we don't want it to be like going throughout the day and then it's like smearing or rubbing off or whatever. I want it to be super, super set, so. Okay, now I'm going in with this, woo, need some coffee. Guys, if you don't put cocoa in your coffee, you need to get on it. Okay, now I'm going in with this Armani Beauty Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancer, and then something I think in French. And this is in shade 8, and it is a beautiful pink blush color. I use this as kind of the liquid base for where I will put my blush later. And I just put it right on there, and then again with the same brush. I do clean it, but when we're doing the routine, I just use the same brush all throughout. I'm not sure if that's good or bad or whatever, but maybe it just kind of helps the makeup blend together nicely. So I just put that there, and I go in with 2 layers of it because it is not like the most pigmented product, but I do think that it gives a really nice glow for under the blush that we're going to add later. I bring that up into the temples, and that's how we're looking before we're putting on powder. I'll just do the other side, and then we'll get to powdering the face. Also, while I'm at it, I'm just gonna dab a little bit of the residual on my chin and on my forehead. Just a little bit. I like to be kind of like pink and glowy with my makeup, very bronzy, pinky, glowy. So I just like to do that. Now for powder, I'm using the Laura Mercier talc-free translucent setting powder. Important to have talc-free makeup. I'm sure that some of my makeup has talc in it. Don't come for me, but I do where I can, or where I notice it, try to get talc-free makeup. And I'm just going in with my Sephora little powder puff, and I set the sides of my nose and pretty much the rest of my face. And I use a lot of this, and I get very, very shiny right here. So I have to put quite a lot right there. And basically I'm gonna set every single spot that I have concealer on. Put it right there, right here. I kind of blend this out down here and around here, but I leave this just setting for quite some time with a lot on there. And then I do my forehead as well. Basically everywhere foundation and concealer is, that bronzer is not, or contour is not, I'm going to set my face with this translucent setting powder. Okay, so you're gonna see me like this for the next few minutes of doing this makeup routine. Okay, so now I'm going in with this double-sided fluffy brush. This is a Patrick Ta brush that I also got from Sephora. And I'm using this flatter side with my NARS Laguna bronzer. Clearly I use it a lot. And just gonna swirl that around. I really, really need to get a new one. And this is where I set the contour. And I tap it on like this. I don't wanna rub it on because that'll smear that'll smear the contour. And we don't wanna smear it, we just want to set it. And it adds a lot of really pretty color to the face. This is definitely my favorite bronzer I've ever used. And it goes on like a dream. I'm not sure if it kind of has somewhat of a beachy kind of hue to it. And by beachy, I mean, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like it just has like a hint of some reddish undertones in there, which I really like for my face. I feel like the color is really nice on me. I know so many people use this bronzer. It's nothing new. I can't vouch for it enough. So I'm putting it around my temples as well, realizing just how much I need to get a new one. And then I kind of tap it all over the rest of the other spots just to blend it out a little bit. Here's where I kind of rub though. I don't really like tap on my jawline. I kind of just rub it. And underneath here. And then I kind of squish it like this and I get some bronzer on it and go right here. And then tap that out. And we cannot forget the neck. Neck is very important to not forget. Looking cute. Now going back in with my little flaffy, okay. Going in, bleh, oh my God. Going back in with my little fluffy flat brush from Sephora. I take some of that bronzer and put it where I put the contour on my nose. This is basically just like we're doing everything with cream and liquid first and then setting it with powder. Very, very precise. Also, I'm doing this so far away from my mirror, much further than I normally do it. So really hoping that this turns out. I think it will. I think it'll be fine. I'm pretty accustomed to doing my makeup this way. Okay, now I said we were coming back to the brows later. This is when I come back to the brows. I'm using my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 4. And I love how thin this is because I don't really do a whole lot to filling in my brows. I just kind of make them even, fill in some sparse spots, and yeah. I just kind of fill in the front a little bit. Once again, doing this so far away from the mirror. Wish me luck. Kind of fill in under, it gets a little sparse underneath. And then towards the ends, it gets even more sparse. I don't want them to look like very, very filled in like block brows, but I do like to make them pretty even as far as their density. And then I also tend to add a little bit to the top of this section of my brow just because they kind of go downward and I like them to have like a little bit more volume up here since I have all this volume in the front of the brow, kind of just even them out a little bit. But I don't like them to be super arched. I think when they're super arched, I look a little bit funny and maybe older. I don't want to look older. I already have kind of a mature face and I don't need to add too much maturity to it. I actually stopped getting Botox in my forehead because I realized that a brow lift is not for me, and the way that most places do Botox, they always want to give you a brow lift, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I've figured out a way to keep myself from getting deep forehead wrinkles. Maybe it's a combination of getting Botox for so long and then also just I do facial massages recently and I feel like it's really been helping. But let me tell you, when I was in Austin, I was recently in Austin for my best friend's bachelorette, and my forehead wrinkles were so deep there. Something about that weather, the humidity, maybe the humidity is just not for me, which you'd think it would be the other way around, but something about that weather, I was like, whoa, forehead wrinkles are wrinkling. And, you know, it could have also been not eating very much, definitely not eating healthy food, and also drinking incessantly. Just gonna do this to the other side as well. I also, this side's like a little bit more arched. I also flatten them out a little bit by adding a little bit extra underneath this like arch spot. And then also just a little bit to the top. Guys, if you have seen what my eyebrows used to look like, if you're somebody who's been around that long on my social media, just forget about that. Please remove that from your brain. I used to do block brows and I would bring them in so close together and I would make them so thick. There were no defined hairs. But haven't we all kind of gone through that phase? Just even if you haven't, just tell me that you've gone through that phase and it'll make me feel better. I actually show my fiance like old photos of me when we first met, and I was like, did you know like this is what I looked like when we first met? And he's like, literally doesn't even look like you. Like, what the heck? Like, I'm like, well, you liked it. You thought I was just so perfect, even with my block brows. Okay, I think they're good. Sorry if the angle shifted just a little bit there. Had to replace the camera battery. I really like this camera a lot. It is the Sony ZV-1 Mark II, but I will say the batteries really die really fast. You have to have a lot of batteries on deck for any sort of filming, whether it be like a YouTube video like this, vlog, or even just when I do Reels and TikToks and YouTube Shorts on this camera, because I use this camera for almost every filming sort of thing I do. I'm replacing the batteries all day. I'm always keeping them charged. And now I'm gonna go ahead and move on to eyes. For my eyes, I have been using this palette for a really long time now. It's called the One by Lawless. Oh, found a bobby pin in it. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Clearly I use it a lot. I don't remember what this color was, but it's gone. So we just forget about that color. Anyway, I'm going in with a Sephora like medium-sized fluffy brush, and I'm going in with this shade right here, and I'm gonna put this all over the center of my eye. Whoa, I kind of picked up a lot there. That's fine. That's what blending's for, right? Also, like, I don't know, I know so many people do their eyeshadow first, and that prevents fallout onto their face. I can't do that. I don't know why. Like, when I do my eyeshadow first, it just turns out bad. I don't know how to like do it first with all of the liquid and cream products I use. I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. But I really don't get fallout onto my face, and knock on wood, hopefully I didn't just jinx myself, but maybe it's the eyeshadow that I use that doesn't really have much fallout or something. I just blend this into the center, like right where the crease is, like really kind of blow it out into the eye, because we're gonna go in with an even darker color, more concentrated in the crease. I'm just gonna take a bigger, fluffy brush, and blend this out even more. It's really just adding basically like a very bronzy look to the overall eye. And also I'm sorry if it's annoying that I keep looking at my mirror, but that's kind of where I need to look, and then sometimes I'm looking at the camera screen instead of the camera lens. I'm still getting used to it, but for the purposes of this video, I need to be looking at the mirror anyway. So now I'm going to take my smaller fluffy brush again and go in with the dark brown shade over here. Just a little bit of it, like this, you don't want too much of it. And I'm gonna concentrate that onto the crease, and because I seem to have quite a lot of it on my brush, oh my God, I'm just gonna take some of the extra and start on this eye, blend it out. Creating a lot of depth in the eyes by doing this, also giving a very, very bronzy, glowy look. And I do this look no matter the season, but I think that this is absolutely perfect for spring and summer. It adds so much warmth into your face. And I don't know why I pictured just wearing this in like Greece, Italy, just those warm places in Europe. Maybe it's because I'm dying to go back to Greece and Italy. Just put a little bit more on this brush, and we're gonna go in with this eye, and then we're gonna blend out with the bigger, fluffier brush. Bigger, fluffy brush. Why do I keep calling it a bigger, fluffier brush? It's the same amount of fluff, and better for, as Dom would say, merging my makeup together. Dom did a voiceover of me doing my makeup, and the amount of times that man said merge, he was like, now we're just gonna merge this together, merge it. And it was really cute, actually. And he kind of knew a lot, and I was like, who cooked here? But I guess he's been watching me do my makeup we've known each other for almost 5 years now. Taught him quite a lot. But when we first started dating, he did know who Desi Perkins and Katie were. He went time out for that. Also, I'm hoping that this video is not very blown out. The lighting keeps changing outside. Even though I live in Scottsdale, we have been getting so much rain, so many clouds. And it was cloudy earlier, and now it's kind of clearing up, but the sky keeps changing, and I'm not sure how it's coming through, but I hope it's good. Fingers crossed. Okay, so now I take this little tiny flat brush. This is also, I wanted to say this was from Sephora, but now I'm thinking it's from Amazon. I think this is from Amazon. I will find an identical one from Amazon and put it below. But I'm gonna take a little bit of my concealer, just a little bit. I actually might have put too much on there. Can be pretty heavy-handed sometimes. But now I'm just going to put this all over my eyelid. I don't always do this step, but when I do it, I tend to like my makeup the best. So I'm gonna do it for you today. I wouldn't really call this a cut crease. It's maybe a very, very, very blended version of a cut crease, but it's kind of the idea behind it. And then I'm gonna take this pale shade from the Lawless palette and set it with that. I don't know when I decided to do this. I don't know how I decided to do this, but I really like the way that it turns out. But a lot of times I'm way too lazy to actually do it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do the other eye like this, and then we'll get into the eyeliner. Now for my eyeliner, I'm going to take this dark brown shade again with an angled flat brush. And this is definitely from Amazon. So anyway, I just dab a bit of that brown on there and I just do a wing on my eye. And wish me luck being this far away from the mirror. Like actually, like I really need good wishes for this. Definitely can't talk while I do this. But one of the beauties of doing eyeshadow for your eyeliner is you can really just shape it how you want it. So it's like if it gets a little thick down there, just go whoop with my nail and it cleans it right up. I also really like using brown eyeshadow. Okay, shut up. I really need to stop talking while I'm doing this. Let me just do this off camera. It's a basic wing. It's a basic wing. We'll get into what I do a little bit differently for my eyeliner after I get this top part on because that part's a little bit easier. I need to focus for this part. I literally just realized I can use the mirror on this eyeshadow palette to get myself closer. I basically start 1/3 inward to my eye. I stop where it starts going up in the middle. So it's like not quite the middle where I stop, but pretty close to the middle. And that's why I say 1/3. I don't like to put it on the part where it goes up. I want it to give more of a cat-like look. So that's why I start it 1/3 inward. And I like using brown eyeshadow for my eyeliner because as much makeup as we're doing and as like many steps as we're doing and as much as we're putting on the eyes and everything, I still feel like it kind of just gives it that warmer look, a little bit more natural. I used to use liquid black eyeliner every single day religiously, but this is more my vibe. So, and then I've been doing this thing for a few months now, maybe even longer than a few months, but I've been putting, back to my little mirror, been putting a second wing under my eye and I don't connect them. I leave a gap right there. And even though it looks a little bit interesting at first, once my eyelashes have mascara on them and then I add a little half set of lashes at the end, it kind of just all blends together really nice. I saw a girl do this, Sarah New, and she was doing it for this like very specific like makeup look she was going for. And that's where I got it from. And I absolutely love it. And I definitely don't do it necessarily as flawlessly as she does it. She's fantastic at makeup. But it is something that I was like, oh, you know what? Let me try that because I loved the way that the end result turned out with her makeup and looked really good. So, and it's something that I've been doing all the time now. And nobody actually ever notices that I do a double wing until I tell them. So you'll see at the end, it kind of just all blends together. Just as a little something extra, just go in with a little bit of this underneath the corner of my eye. I don't do it on the top. I think this is also what Sarah New did in her video, and the eye look that she did, I was just like, it is absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to actually, I think I went in a little heavy-handed on it right here. So I'm gonna take a little bit of it off. Or I can just go in with this little brush, kind of just highlight in there. And that'll take some of it off, or at least cover some of it up. And so now I'll just go into some of the final steps. I don't know what it is, like the second time doing this video, I feel like this is kind of going quicker and a little bit simpler. I know it's a lot of steps, but for some reason it's just feeling like, wow, we're already done. So now I'm gonna take my Armani Beauty Blush Duo. I start out with shade 51 and it's a really, really pretty color. Looks like this. And I use this double-sided brush again, and I use the flatter side for my bronzer. So now I'm gonna use this fluffier side for the blush. I'm not sure if that's right, but that's what I do. And then I just tap where I had the other blush. And I go pretty heavy on the blush intentionally. I love being blushy, rosy, adding life and color back into my face. A little under here and a little on the nose. And then I said it was a duo. It is. And so now I go in with shade 50, and it's like a highlighty color, but like pink. Pick up on the camera. Wow, I'm such a YouTube makeup artist. Okay, so now I put that just like on top, kind of focusing it more like above it. And just once again, a little on the nose, on the tip, maybe the chin too. You know what? Just everywhere, everywhere. All right, now I'm going to take my powder puff and wipe off all of this setting powder that has been on our face for quite some time now. And I kind of just take that and like blend out the nose contour as well, make it a little less noticeable. Maybe I'll just tap all over the rest of my face. We just want to be really, really, really blended. So now I'm gonna go spray my face. I know that I haven't done lips or mascara. I know I haven't done lips or mascara, but I like to spray my face before I do that, because if I spray my face after mascara, it can kind of like transfer to my eyelids, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna go do that. And then I actually so I use my Dyson to dry it, and that just prevents my makeup from running or doing anything weird. So I spray it all over, and then I literally take off any attachments on my Dyson and just go like this on the cool setting for about 15-20 seconds max, and it is so good. This also, this is the Charlotte Tilbury, I'm gonna call it the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Anyway, it literally does make you look airbrushed. Like if there's any harshness on here, if there's any powderiness on my face, it just like, once again, as Dom would say, merges it all together and just makes it look so glowy. The only thing is afterward, I do put on a little bit of extra powder right here because I get so shiny. So anyway, I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna come back for eyelashes, mascara, lipstick, and then we'll be finito. Okay, so now I've just sprayed, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's just really blended out anything on my face. Like it literally does make me look airbrushed. I'm like, wow, wow. But as you can see, it did add a little bit of shininess right here, and I envy girls who love being shiny right there. I don't, as somebody who has a little extra volume right here. It's not that cute when I look shiny right there. So I just am gonna take a little bit more of my Laura Mercier powder and just put it right here. Okay. So now I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I use brown mascara. Again, I just love the brown on the eyes, the brown glowiness. It just makes it look a little bit more natural. This isn't the most natural makeup, but where we can be a little bit more natural, I'm gonna be. So I just focus this on the outer corners of my eyes. I don't really put it on the inside of my eyes. A little bit in the center, but really just focusing it on the outer parts to create that kind of winged look, and on the bottom as well, but just on the outer part. And as you can see, it's kind of already minimizing that double wing. Kind of just almost looks like your eyelashes are just so voluptuous that it's just caused a shadow on your face underneath. Like it's just a little shadow right there. I think it looks really pretty. Does anybody have one eye that works really, really great with mascara, and then one eye that does not like to work as well? Because this is my eye that likes to work, and this one, I have to do a little bit more shaping. You could totally leave the eyes like this, and I actually do leave my, I used to leave my eyes like this, but I've recently gotten back into fake lashes. I just think it kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes the eyes look a little bit more feminine and open, since we've done such a windy, I'm just making up words today. But since we've done such like a wing on here and made it look, you know, pretty sultry, I feel like it kind of adds some femininity and openness back up into the eyes. And I've just been really liking lashes recently, but I spent a long time being like, I don't like lashes on me. Now I do again. So I use a half set of lashes, and I get them. They're like pre-cut into half lashes. These are already used quite a few times. Dom was shocked when I told him that I reuse lashes, but I'm like, yeah, everybody does. This is the Kiss glue. I blow on them. I don't know if that's sanitary. I know a lot of girls shake them. I blow. I'm just gonna pop these, starting once again on the outer third of my eye, right where I started my eyeliner, and just pop them into place. I know girls who are always like so precise about their lashes, they have like a hard time putting them on, but I really just kind of set them on there and like smush them down. Now, the more used they are, the more you can kind of tell that they're used when they're on your face, but it's okay. I think this might be their last go until I grab a new one out of my pack. And I don't use expensive lashes by any means. I get them from Amazon and they do the job just fine. I'm not gonna spend 20 bucks on a pair of lashes. I'm just gonna add a little bit of coat. Just gonna add a light coat of mascara to blend my normal lashes with my fake lashes, and then we'll be back for lips. Okay, I even just smushed them down a little bit more. I like them to be kind of flatter. I don't like them to be like up. So I just kind of smoshed them down. Now for lips, I start out with my ColourPop Lippy Pencil in BFF2. I think I need to sharpen this a little bit. It helps if it's pretty sharp. And I just sort of outline my lips with this. And I tuck it in. I know that a lot of girls like to kind of drag it out a little bit. That's not a good look on me. I used to do that. I look back at those photos, those videos, everything, and I'm like, oh, what was I doing? It's like just not flattering on me. It just made me look kind of jokery. And I also kind of flatten out my Cupid's bow. It really depends on the day, but honestly, like the way that I notice that I like my makeup the best is when I flatten it out a little bit. So just kind of like fill it in just like a little bit. And I tuck this part too. Do not like dragging it out. And I just go right on that outside line. I actually haven't gotten lip filler in, I want to say 3 years now. I'm going to say 3. And it's possible it's even been longer. My lips are pretty much to their normal spot with just like the residual filler that I don't think is ever going to leave my lips. Also, things just don't like to leave my body, like including ink. I got something when I was 21, summer when I was 21. And I was interning in LA and I wanted a tattoo. And they said it might last a day, might last a month, might last a year, but it will go away like within a year maximum. This was in 2017. It does say Gucci. And it's just permanently there. It has now been, oh my God, it's now almost been 7 years. My skin just likes to hold on to stuff. My body likes to hold on to stuff. And that's why I think my filler is always going to be a little bit in my lips. And I probably will never get them done again. They're definitely overfilled at some points in my journey with them. But I do like the little residual. I do like the way that it looks. No matter if they were overfilled at one point, if my top lip was bigger than my bottom lip at one point, we landed in a good spot. All the lumps and unevenness and weirdness with it, it's worth it for where we landed. So we are outlined like a booty hole. Okay, so now I'm going in with my Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Liner in Rosy Brown. And it's very, very similar color. But I fill in with this almost all the way. The only part where I leave some open is like in the center of my lips. And that's because I go in with a nudie color in there. I love this color combination though. It's just the perfect color for this makeup. It's the perfect color for just any outfit I wear. I don't know, I just really like it. It's my go-to. So I'm just gonna go in with MAC Teddy 2.0 in the center. And this lipstick is pretty hydrating. So any places where I'm feeling like a little bit dry, I honestly just kind of pop it in there. So now my lips are done, and I like doing like the darker to the lighter in the center. It makes the lips look really, really full. Like you've seen me this whole video, and my lips did not look this full until now. And I really barely overlined them. Like I was going on the outside edge, but like I've seen girls like really, really overline them, and we didn't even have to do that. It's really just kind of an optical illusion. And especially flattening out that Cupid's bow. I just kind of feel like it adds a lot of oomph and volume in there. We're pretty much done. I'm just gonna wipe away my excess powder. And while we're at it, why don't I just take a little residual from this bronzer brush and just tap all over. All right, took my hair out and we are done. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. So anyway, I hope that you guys really liked this makeup tutorial and I hope it was informative, and I hope that it makes you feel better about if anybody's like, oh, you just need a dot of concealer and this and that. No, a lot of girls are still wearing full faces of makeup, and I'm one of them, and it's okay. I'm a try hard. I put in a lot of effort, and I like putting in a lot of effort. So if you're somebody like me who likes to put in a lot of effort on their makeup and you're not a bare minimum girl, I hope that this kind of made you feel like we're in a community together. Anyway, we are good to go. I'm gonna get to filming and doing stuff for the rest of my day. And once again, very sorry that this is a late video. Like I said, I was gonna be doing videos once a week, but my last makeup tutorial just wasn't good enough. I think I need more coffee in my system. So anyway, if you guys did like this video, please make sure to like and my body does not want to say like and subscribe. It's still very awkward for me. But anyway, if you do like this video, if you like any of my other videos, please like and subscribe. It means so much to me. Comment whatever you want. Even if you think that I did something that you wouldn't do, tell me. I love to read comments. I get so excited when I see a comment, even when it's like something weird. I'm like, I don't know. I just like seeing the comments. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Until the next video, I will see you guys on Instagram and TikTok. Come say hi over there, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.